And as hard as it was to do that, because, Jeff had built pens for these critters to look beautiful at fair. He had drove across country to buy her a toolbox that he had custom painted for her. You know, I mean, we went every weekend for weeks. We were hauling or going to look at cattle, and all of them were 2 hours away or something like that. So it wasn't like around the corner. So we put a lot of dedication. And I was in love with some of those cattle just as well, like the old cow. I always thought she'd be dying on our farm because that's how much I loved her. I had intentions of, raising. We were hoping to have heifers so we could, and I told her that too. I said, listen, you get a heifer, you keep the heifer. By the time you're in high school and gonna graduate, you'll have your own herd. Beef prices are only gonna go up, and it is the thing that is gonna be valuable. And it's going to cost, yes, but you got 1 foot ahead of everybody else. And I think, see, this is where it's going. Instead of the very large cattle, you get into the mid-size, that because a lot of these people do not have the farms to raise 1,400 pound, 12 to 1,400 pound steers. But maybe a 900 pound steer or 800 pound steer, the mid-size, is a good size to put in the freezer for one person or one family. Not, you won't have to split a steer between 3 families or 4 families. And the feed cost, it won't take as much to feed them and getting them to the processing. Those are all thoughts. And a lot of these farms nowadays are going to be smaller. There's not going to be as much grass or pasture to be turning them out. So I thought it was, in my mind, that was the way it should be going. But she didn't see it that way. I was getting, sarcastic marks about, one little heifer. Oh, she's useless, or, this or that. But yet she's a heifer. She's still bred to a decent, bull. She still will produce a really nice calf. It doesn't mean she has to be show quality, but she'll be nice. But she was a starter heifer. What do you expect? You got to start somewhere. And it seems like I was just beating my head against the wall and trying to see it through. But, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this? They do not see it. They're not understanding. And the only way to relieve this pressure was to wash my hands of it and be done. And it's like, well, when you get older, you can do it. You'll just see how much more work it is to accomplish it and keep going. And so this is the vendetta or the attitude or that she's mad about. And I understand it. But I was looking at it logically on all sides. There was no way around unless some reason our farm came up, we could purchase it and keep it. There's no way. It wasn't happening. This was the best avenue to take. Best solution. And I'm a little relieved. I really am. I do not miss the extra work. My body misses the extra work but yeah, and I will say 4-H, the farm, raising livestock, there's that, is the best way, or one of the best ways to raise children, I will say. There's some hard lessons, but I love it. It was the best thing for them. If you have children that have learning disabilities, it's a good thing for them. They connect with the animals very well. and it's satisfying. I mean, it's frustrating. There's time, like I said, but teenagers, we got that personality too. It's like, well, you got to cut your losses somewhere and do something different. There's okay about if you don't like it or it's not satisfying enough, cut your losses, do a 180, do something different. Just do something different. That's all it takes.